Good evening, folks. Don Tyson, Kim Kroll coming to you from the Cache High School. We have the Area 3 Consolation Championship game tonight between number 1 ranked Fort Cobb Broxton Mustangs taking on number 9 ranked Canute Trojans. Ought to be a dandy of a ball game because these two teams have played twice already this season. Both of them very close contests. The first one January the 26th in Fort Cobb. Mustangs come out on top in that one 49-43. And then Tuesday night in the first game of regionals, Mustangs defeated Canute in overtime 66-56 in a game that was much closer than the final score indicated. But Kim, we might talk about last night. The Mustangs ran into a buzzsaw with the Snyder Cyclones last night.
You know, I don't know if Snyder has sneaked up on people or not. They were ranked number 11, but I'm going to tell you what, I was thoroughly impressed. I mean, the first half, they were outstanding. Their defense was, just solid as it could be and really made Fort Cobb struggle. And in the second half, they played a little more like a normal team, but they had such a big lead at halftime, they kind of let that carry over. But I was really impressed with Snyder.
They played so well on the defensive end. I'd never really seen a Fort Cobb ball club in a long time struggle in their offensive flow so much. They turned the ball over numerous times in that first half, and they just looked out of sorts because of the defense Snyder played.
Yeah, and they did it. They had such a hard time scoring. They, really took a couple of people out of it. Eastwood and Denton got a few points, but it was just a struggle for them. Might talk about one deal that happened. There was a technical foul about a minute and a half left in the first half. And from what I understand, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but when Simeon Collins went into the game, he was not on the official scorebook. And so they got to looking, and they pulled Fort Cobb's scorebook in there, and yes, he was on that. But what had happened is the official scorekeeper had a roster from a previous game and used it, and then when they gave her the Fort Cobb scorebook, she didn't copy off it, which Collins was in it, but he didn't play in that previous game, and so he wasn't on that roster. So did Fort Cobb do anything wrong? No. And I guess it's the letter of the law, and what was the kicker on it is they had the coach's initial, the official scorebook, to say, yeah, that's right. And so when Coach Hines did that, that made it official. But have you ever seen a coach stand at the score table and go down his lineup in the official scorebook?
He got too much on his mind for that.
That's right. They do that on their scorebook, and they know that's right.
Yeah.
And then when you give that to the official scorer, you assume that's what it's going to be.
Exactly.
So officially that when they're not on the scorebook and they go in the game, it's a technical foul. But I guess they went strictly by the letter of the law. But really, no mistakes were made by either team.
Right.
And I think that's the kicker of it. Fort Cobb had the ball then, and that gave Snyder 2 free throws and the ball, and they made both those free throws.
Took away a possession from Fort Cobb. Yep.
So did it make a difference in the game? We don't know, and we'll never know.
Well,
but it was one of those things that happens. It was unfortunate, but, it happened. So that was the explanation I received.
Yeah. That's a good explanation, Kim. That's very clear. The Mustangs, if they win this ball game tonight, that's a big if, of course. They will be advancing to the state tournament for the 8th straight year.
That's amazing.
2014, they got beat in the quarterfinals. Then they went on one of the most impressive runs in high school basketball history in Oklahoma when they won 4 straight state titles, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And then in 19, they made it to the championship game again where they were defeated. And then last year, they lost in a quarterfinal round against Stewart. But, it's quite an impressive run the Mustangs are on, and like to see them continue that.
Well, it's so many teams would just love to get to the state tournament.
Yep.
And then to be there that many times in a row and to win 4 in a row and get second to next year, it's just an outstanding run that they've had. So, they've been ranked number 1 all year this year. They ran into Snyder last night, so we'll see what happens. We're talking about the rankings. The people that do those rankings, you think it's a tough job, but I'm going to tell you, last night the number 2, 3, and 4 teams won.
Yeah.
And Fort Cobb was rated number 1, and they didn't. Snyder was number 11. So the 4 top seeds in the state tournament will be Arapahoe Butler, the number 3 seed, Hydro Eakley's number 2 seed, Garber's number 4 ranking, and Snyder's 11. So that'll be your top 4 seeds. And, you know, another advantage of winning last night is you get one of the top 4 seeds in the state tournament. And
what do you think about this as far as this contest goes tonight? We all like to speculate on trying to beat somebody 3 times or twice, you know, and think how difficult that is. I had a coach tell me a few years ago, I was asking him that question, and he told me, he said, yeah, us coaches worry about it, the fans worry about it, but these high school kids, they don't really think that. If they beat somebody once or twice, they think they can do it again.
And that's probably right.
Yep.
You know, it got to be in your head. We've done this before.
Yeah, right.
You know, they realize they've both been close, tough games, but they know they can do it.
Right.
You know, and I've thought about this game and see, you know, Fort Cobb has not had a really good offensive output in either one of those games.
Right.
If they could get everybody going and, you know, shoot the ball well, which they haven't been doing it last night up until the 4th quarter, they only shot about 25% from the field. If they would have a good shooting night, I think they could come out really well.
Well, in Tuesday night's ball game when they played over at Burns Flat had a chance to win the game at the end of regulation.
Yep.
Had about a 14-foot shot right in front of the basket, and it carried them away, or they would have won that one. When they got into overtime, they had Keenan Smith fouled out, and Kellen Henderson also fouled out for the Canute. So they're probably their best players fouled out for most of the overtime. So, but by the same token, Mustang's best player, Tyson Eastwood, had to set out the whole second quarter with 3 fouls. So,
yeah, a lot of ifs on that.
Yep.
And you think that they play 4 quarters and 32 minutes of basketball, and so many times it comes down to one possession or one shot.
Right.
And you don't want to pressure them up like that and say everyone's important, but every possession is important.
Yep. It should be a day. The Mustangs will be the visiting team on the scoreboard today. They are wearing their royal blue uniforms with white numerals trimmed in red. And Canute will be the home team today in their white uniforms, gold letters, and black numerals. And we're about set to have the starting lineups. First for the Fort Cobb Broxton Mustangs. They'll start a sophomore, number 2, Jackson Willits. A junior, number 11, Drew Woods. A senior, number 12, Tyson Eastwood, who had 23 points yesterday, 24 in the previous game against Canute. A senior, number 24, Kyler Denton, who had 12 last night and 16 Tuesday night against Canute. And a senior, number 31, Rocky Mountain. The Mustangs are coached by Mr. Scott Hines, who has 7 state titles to his credit since 2000. For the Canute Trojans, they start a senior, number 3, Keenan Smith, who had 12 in the contest against Fort Cobb last time. A junior, number 5, Colt Randall, an outstanding 3-point shooter. A junior, number 14, Kobe Maddox. A sophomore, number 22, Kyron Winery. And a senior, number 30, Kellen Henderson, who had 15 points against the Mustangs Tuesday night. As I mentioned, or I did mention, they're coached by Mr. Brock Steffes. They come into the game ranked number 9 with a record of 18 wins and 6 losses.
You know, Don, this is the first game that Fort Cobb has played. If they lose, it's their last.
Yeah, that's true. You win tonight, you'll play Thursday afternoon in the Big House for the state tournament. That's what both these teams are shooting for tonight. A lot riding on it. Mustangs will be going left to right on your TV screen as we're about set to go. Tyson Eastwood will be jumping center for the Mustangs, going against Keenan Smith. One of the things the Mustangs need to do tonight, I think, Kim, is do a better job blocking out on the glass. Keenan Smith got several offensive rebounds last week. He's real quick off his feet.
Yeah, he was a good player, had a real good game until he got in foul trouble late, kind of like Eastwood. They both ran into some foul trouble.
And the tap is controlled by the Trojans. And Kobe Maddox will bring it into the front court for the Mustangs, and it appears they're going to start off in a man-to-man defense. You know, I didn't mention it in the previous two times. These two teams played in the state baseball championship. There's Keenan Smith with a three-pointer straight away to open up the scoring for the Trojans. As these two teams played in a state baseball championship game last fall. There's Jackson Willits. Baseline jumper good. Good start by Jackson Willits. That's what the Mustangs need to do to get some scoring other than Tyson.
Yeah, they need
Eastwood
to get a more balanced attack from
Yep.
everybody, so that's a good start for Jackson.
They'll get better shots tonight than they did against Snyder, I'm quite certain. There's a drive by Winery, and he lays it in for two. So Canute comes out 2 for 2 from the field, and they have a 5-2 lead. Right side Willits, off to Mountain. Running a weave out front. Keenan Smith on Denton, who's an outstanding three-point shooter. Eastwood along the baseline. Maddox on him. Cross-court pass to Mountain. Penetrates in the paint. Left side Willits. Three-pointer on the way. Good. Jackson Willits comes out 2 for 2 for the Mustangs, and we're tied at 5. Good start by both clubs.
I'll tell you what, after the shooting performance last night, it's good to see Fort Cobb making some shots.
Nice to see the ball go in the basket, that's for sure. There's a foul on Rocky Mountain as he fouled Maddox on the drive. And I was talking about that baseball game. Canute came out on top 1-0 in that state final game. I believe Colby Maddox pitched that ball game. So a lot of good athletes on this court today for baseball and basketball. Smith gets around Eastwood. Shot no good. Tough angle. And Denton with the rebound.
Yeah, had a good opportunity there. Got it good inside look at it.
Woods drives in the paint. Three-pointer by Mountain. Good. Rocky Mountain. And the Mustangs are 3 for 3 from the field. And they lead it 8-5.
Hope we go a while before we have to talk about their first miss.
Yeah, there's a long three-pointer by Colt Randall off the heel of the basket. Kellen Henderson tracks down the rebound. Shot over Denton. No good. Smith there for an offensive rebound, and he's fouled by Eastwood. Yeah, that's the thing that gave the Mustangs trouble last week, or Tuesday night, was an offensive rebound by Smith. And Eastwood picks up his first foul.
Yeah, you wouldn't think your point guard would be and get as many offensive rebounds as Smith does. He got a lot of them the other night.
He's a good athlete. Makes the first, 8-6 our score. Second one no good. Denton corrals a rebound. Eastwood into the front court, picked up there by Max. Willits, 15-foot elbow jumper short. Colt Randall with a rebound. And Maddox will bring it into the front court over to Smith. There's Kellen Henderson. Through traffic. Forced that one a little bit. Mustangs had him double team. Eastwood lost handle of the ball. Get it back. Through the lane. Shot was knocked away. It was knocked out of his hands. And I'm kind of agree with the Canute coach. It might have looked like it might have went off his leg and out of bounds. But
I wouldn't argue if they'd have called it that way.
Nevertheless, the Mustangs will keep it. Once again, having trouble getting it in. They finally do. Willits way out front. Rocky Mountain left side to Eastwood. Offense pretty well runs through Eastwood most of the time for the Mustangs. He can create a shot against anybody. There's Woods. Right wing three on the way. No good. Rocky Mountain hustles after the rebound. A good offensive rebound that time by the Mustangs. Tyler Denton in the corner to Mountain. He likes to shoot it from there, but he'll pass it out to Denton this time. He'll try a long three-pointer. No good. Woods there for an offensive rebound, and he's going to be hammered. And he'll go to the line to shoot two. As good work that time by Drew Woods, as he was able to pick up the offensive board. That was two on that trip. And the first foul's on Kellen Henderson. And Drew Woods will be at the line shooting two. 4:24 to play, opening period. Mustangs on top 8-6. And Woods makes the first. So the Mustangs have 4 in the scoring column so far. Last night they only had 2 in the first half that scored.
Yeah, it's good to see it get everybody involved.
And he cans them both. Ian Taylor will check in, replacing Woods. Gets a nice hand from Coach Hines on his work so far. Mustangs lead it by 4, 10-6. Mountain picks up Maddox out front. Haven't really detected anything different the teams are doing so far here early. Pretty much playing the same game. There's takeaway by Denton over to Willits. Good defense by the Mustangs. Ian Taylor over to Willits. Left side Rocky Mountain. Three-pointer by Willits on the way, no good. Rimmed out that time. Kellen Henderson with a nice rebound. Mustangs have cooled off a little bit. They made their first 3 shots.
Yeah, they've got everybody a little more involved in the offense tonight. And last night it kind of seemed like a little top-heavy.
Turnaround shot by Henderson along the baseline is no good. And he claps his hands in frustration as he heads to the other end.
Both teams are pretty well stuck with that man-to-man, and they, a lot of pick and rolls on it, but they've haven't been able to get anything inside at all.
They're doing a lot of switching out front, trying to double team Eastwood every chance they get. And now Eastwood out front. Maddox on him, gets a screen from Denton, dribbles to his right, going against Smith now. Maddox got a hand, poked it away. In the corner, Willits. Baseline tray on the way. Hit the side of the backboard. Willits got it away from him, though. But they say he was on the baseline. It'll be Canute's basketball. Good hustle by Willits.
Yeah, kind of Fort Cobb's game is they just work it around the perimeter and try to get an open shot. They really don't get much inside at all and haven't yet tonight.
Well, they seem to be pretty aggressive on the offensive end, which is a good sign. They're not letting last night's shooting woes bother them. There's a three-pointer by Colt Randall for his first basket of the day, and it's a 1-point lead now for the Mustangs, 10-9.
His range is a little farther out than most of them.
Yeah, he's a good shooter. He had 3 trays Tuesday night against Fort Cobb. Mountain, 1 dribble. Good defense by the Trojans, and he had to alter his shot. We're going to have a timeout taken by Canute to save the possession. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll take it with them. You're listening to Mustang Basketball on FCBMustangs.tv.
Ouachita Valley Bank, locally owned and operated since 1902, proudly serving the Fort Cobb area with knowledgeable and friendly professionals that actually care about your financial well-being. Online banking, loans, certificate of deposit, safe deposit boxes, 24-hour telephone banking, and an ATM. For service you can trust, Ouachita Valley Bank, 405-643-2305, member FDIC.
It's a sore arm, but the second one I had a couple of things. Well, at least you feel good that you got it.
yeah, it's true. 10-9 our score. 1:57 to play opening period. Tells you what kind of ball game this is when they take a timeout in the first quarter to save a possession on a loose ball. Every possession is so important. Tight ball game, and we anticipate it'll go right down to the wire.
Yeah, I think both teams are expecting it to be that way.
Yeah. Tell you what, there's that alley-oop play to Kellen Henderson, and Eastwood, I think, picked up his second personal foul. They do that a lot out of the timeout. They run that backdoor cut to Henderson, and they lob it in there to him, and Eastwood picked up his second personal, so that's not really good news at all for Fort Cobb, Kim.
No, he needs to be really careful. He did not get that third one.
Free throw good by Henderson.
Well, the last game, he picked up that third one with like 5 seconds left in the quarter on a charge.
Yeah. 10-10. Henderson makes his first point of the day.
And usually probably half his fouls are charges.
Second free throw rims out. Yeah, when you got 2 personal fouls, you got to really be concerned about picking up a charge because he likes to drive. Willits along the baseline. There's a offensive foul on Ian Taylor. I could kind of see that one coming as he crashed into a defender over there. Looked like the old Packer sweep there for a minute.
Yeah, but Jackson was open.
Yeah, it was a nice run around the end there. Coach Hines is kind of indicating maybe he flopped a little on that. But it was a good idea by Taylor, but the referee didn't think so. Tied at 10, it'll be Canute's basketball. Chance for them to take the lead here. Keenan Smith comes into the front court. Left side Maddox. Rocky Mountain out on him. Now Smith left of the lane. Fumbled the ball over to Kellen Henderson. Denton all over him. They have to pass it out. Colt Randall, he can shoot it from there. Willits cuts him off along the baseline and goes out to Smith. Now Henderson in the paint. Denton muscling him around. Shot no good. Denton with the rebound. Good work that time by Kyler. And there's less than a minute to play. Eastwood pull up just inside the three-point arc. No good. Willits with an offensive rebound. Put back short. And Canute comes away with it. 2 good looks that time by the Mustangs. Couldn't get them to drop. At the quarter break, we'll check our shooting percentages as we're tied at 10, and now it appears Canute's going to play for 1 here.
Yeah, they've just pulled it out all the way to the half line, just holding it with 20 seconds left. So.
And now Smith will initiate the attack. I'm sure they'd love to get a 3rd foul on Eastwood as he takes it right to him. Eastwood lets him go. Shot's no good. And there's Eastwood into the front court. All the way down to Denton, and layup is too hard. Put back is good. Rocky Mountain at the buzzer. Good hustle that time by the Mustangs, and after 1 period of play, Fort Cobb 12, Canute 10. You're listening to Playoff Basketball on FCBMustangs.tv.
Proud supporters of Fort Cobb Mustangs. The name of the store is T-Birds. Come see Connie for our daily lunch specials. Good. We offer cold drinks, hot food, and a clean environment. Also, $1 Fountain Pop Wednesdays. See you soon. We are your premier best in state driving school, located in Southwest Oklahoma at Fort Cobb Public School. We can provide all the services related to driving in the state of Oklahoma, such as driver's education, in-house testing capabilities, permits, and drive testings for a license. The only thing that you will be required from DPS is your eye exam. We have certified instructors that use our cars to teach your students how to be the best drivers from the beginning. Come see us today for all your driving needs.
Okay. 12-10 our score. Good first quarter, Kim. What about the percentages?
Well, Fort Cobb shooting 33%, 4 out of 12. Canute's at 30%, 3 out of 10. So nobody's lighting it up. They started off good, but then they've kind of tapered off a little bit. So we'll see what happens. 3-pointers, Canute's 2 of 3, Fort Cobb's 2 of 6. So
it'll be Fort Cobb's ball. Starts the second period. I just like that they're all seem to be involved in the game. They seem to be a lot more active than they were last night. Of course, the defense, Canute's a good ball club, but Rocky Mountain's 3-pointer, no good. Tapped over to him, but he lost it. Canute doesn't play near as good a defense as Snyder did, I don't think. There's a drive by Kellen Henderson that goes out of bounds. A lot of contact. And they
did he
say
call a
stay
foul?
with Canute. No, he didn't. Just
I
said the
thought
ball
he
went
looked
out.
like, I didn't think he did, but he was walking to the scorer's table like he was ready to give a signal. He's just getting his position.
Yep. Canute inbound. Lobs it out front to Maddox. Back to Smith. Dribbles in the paint. Ball poked away briefly, but he retrieves it. Now Randall drives against Taylor. Little running 4-footer. Won't go. Nice rebound by Shelton. And Denton takes it away. Couple of looks that time by Canute as Willits hustles it into the front court to Ian Taylor. A little 2-foot runner falls off the rim, and Rocky Mountain goes over the back foul.
Had a good look at it.
That's the 5th team foul on Fort Cobb Broxton, and the 2nd on Mountain. So 2 of the starters now, Mountain and Eastwood, both have 2 fouls. Last night was just kind of the opposite. They didn't foul very much. And tonight they've got 5 already here early in the second period.
They only had 2 fouls the first half.
Yeah. Henderson, straightaway 3, nobody on him, uncontested. Nice rebound by Taylor. Gets it off to Willits. In the corner, Mountain. 3-pointer on the way. Good. Rocky Mountain for his 2nd tray of the day.
You know, he does a good job of hurrying down the court and getting his position.
Yep.
And when the ball got across the line, he was already open.
He was ready. That's right. There's Maddox to Henderson. 17-footer straight away. No good. Maddox with an offensive rebound and put back. Once again, offensive rebounds by the Trojans. They've done that every time they played Fort Cobb. Hard to block them out. Denton leaves it for Willits. Drives through the lane. Layup good by Jackson Willits. And that's 7 already for Jackson. And it's a 5-point lead for the Mustangs. Maddox into the front court. One thing we didn't talk about much, Kim, and I don't think it'll be a factor, but fatigue. You know, this is the 4th game this week for the Canute. They've played Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and tonight. So you wonder whether the fatigue factor might set in a little bit later on.
Well, it's not something they normally do. Luckily, they're 16 and 17 years old. But,
yeah.
I mean, it's Fort Cobb's 3rd game.
Yeah. And they played late last night.
Yeah.
One thing sometimes you see as Eastwood drives in the paint, little 6-foot runner and 1 as he's fouled. Well, that's a tough bucket right there by Tyson Eastwood. That's his first basket of the contest.
I don't know trying to figure out who he gave the foul to. Okay, Bill Shelton picks up his first foul.
Woods checks in for Mountain, and it's the biggest lead of the game for the Mustangs. They lead at 19-12. Eastwood, an outstanding foul shooter. And that's 3 points for Eastwood so far, and it's a 20-12 game, and Canute wants to take a timeout and talk it over. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this short break.
We're bringing fiber internet to Fort Cobb. Having fast internet is a must-have, whether you're working or learning from home. That's why we are building a fiber network in your community. We have wireless internet solutions too, available at Fort Cobb Lake, Crow's Roost, Alfalfa, and more. You can count on us for a fast, reliable connection to the world. We're proud to be a local provider that's part of your community. Get connected to Carnegie Fiber today.
Mustangs off to a good start here, Kim. They led it 12-10 after one period, and they've outscored them 10-2 here in the second.
Yeah, and last night it was, like I said, the first half, Denton and Eastwood did all the scoring. Denton hadn't scored tonight yet and hadn't really had an open look at it. I think he's put up 1 shot, but the others are picking up the slack and playing real active on the offensive end. They've looked good, but hopefully can get him involved in it too.
That's right. Well, that's a good sign when you can get your scorers who don't normally score a lot. There's an offensive foul on Kyron Winery as he knocked Willits to the deck.
You know, that's one of those you don't have to be set to draw a charge.
Yeah.
Jackson was good defensive position, and
that's right.
And Winery initiated the contact.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. So that's a break for the Mustangs and a chance to build to a double-digit lead here with a basket. Eastwood dribbles to his right. Now Woods out front in the corner to Taylor. To Willits cutting along the left side. Little 14-foot jumper off the back iron. Woods in there for the rebound. And they say Keenan Smith fouled him going over the back. So great work by Drew Woods, as that's 2 offensive rebounds tonight for him. And that's the first foul on Smith. Fourth team foul on the Trojans. Mustangs are really patient inbounding the ball. It makes me hold my breath sometimes. In the corner, pass too high. Willits tracks it down, gets by a defender, and he's going to be bumped and fouled, and he'll go up for 2 shots now. His defender flew by him. That was Winery, and kind of sprained his ankle over there on the sideline, and so Willits had an open path to the goal.
Colt Randall picks up his first foul for Canute.
And Jake Biddy set to check in for the Mustangs as they mop up some perspiration underneath the basket. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed tonight by the Mustangs. Look like they're on a mission today. Of course, it may change, but first half looks pretty encouraging to me.
Yeah, I can bet that at practice they talked about getting everybody involved and everybody playing a little bigger role and getting things evened up a little bit.
That's right.
It showed so far.
Willits will toe the stripe, shooting 2. He's got 7 points so far. First free throw off the side iron, no good. As Biddy will replace Ian Taylor, and Kellen Henderson will check in, replacing Winery. And Willits will have one more attempt here. And he cans it. 9-point lead for the Mustangs. 4:38 to play in the half. Maddox into the front court, left side Keenan Smith.
Played 3.5 minutes, and Canute's just had 2 points so far this quarter.
Yeah. You know, he hasn't really been that assertive on the offensive end. Now he is, kind of dribbles into paint, and Denton fouls him. And Denton's kind of holding his hand like he might have jammed his finger there.
Yeah, it looks like that.
And Keenan Smith will be at the line shooting 2. First foul on Denton.
I don't know if he lost his balance a little bit, but when he came over to help, he looked like he kind of stumbled into it and really made a lot of contact, and it wasn't it wasn't a normal block attempt.
First free throw no good by Smith. And Simeon Collins will check in for Willits.
I bet he's on the book tonight.
Well, I bet they copied off of last night's book this time. I bet they learned their lesson. Free throw good by Smith. That's 5 for him. And it's an 8-point lead for Fort Cobb. Eastwood into the front court. Canute still in that man-to-man defense. Maddox on him. Drives around him, and there's an offensive foul as Eastwood just picked up his 3rd personal. As Kellen Henderson, you could see that coming, stood right in there and took the charge. And Jackson Willits will replace Eastwood, so very similar to the Tuesday night game.
You just can't do that, especially when you've got 2 fouls early like that.
Yeah, well, he gets up ahead of steam. He picks up a lot of offensive foul a lot of times. He heads to the hoop, and that was an easy call there. Henderson now out front. To Keenan Smith with Willits on him. There's a drive by Aiden Brown. Ball loose on the floor. Willits knocked it away. Now Woods picks it up into the front court. Under heavy pressure, finally gets it over to Collins. Interesting lineup for the Mustangs. With there's long baseline 3 by Collins, too hard. Rebound Aiden Brown. Long pass up ahead to Shelton. Or that's Colt Randall, sorry. And Woods with the rebound.
That looked like a charge happening, and the defender gave way.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, if you stand in there and take that, they'd get a whistle. Sometimes you see it often where they start falling down before there's contact. Biddy has it, right side to Willits. Dribbles in the paint, spin move, kicks it out to Woods. All alone for 3, no good. Colt Randall with a rebound. Mustangs have gone cold here lately.
Yeah, they've been 21 for a while.
Aiden Brown handling out front to Kobe Maddox. To Kellen Henderson. 2:38 to play. There's Smith cutting across the lane. Shot over Willits too hard. We got his own rebound. Poked away by Denton. And Willits picks it up, racing it into the front court. Pull-up jumper, 8 foot away off the back iron. Denton there with a rebound. Heavy traffic, and he's fouled by Henderson as he muscled it back up. And I believe that'll be 2 on Henderson. Outstanding work that time.
They gave that on Smith.
Okay, Smith. All right.
That's 2 on him, too.
Yeah. Didn't really did a good job in traffic there to go up for the rebound and then go back up for the putback attempt. He's a good foul shooter as well, and he makes the first.
No announcer's curse for you, is
No, and that's his first point of the game. And checking in is Winery, replacing Colt Randall, and in for the Mustangs, Rocky Mountain, replacing Jake Biddy. And Denton, second free throw short. I guess I jinxed him there, but it's poked out to Rocky Mountain by Willits, so the offense, Mustangs will have another offensive shot here. There's Woods, three-pointer, good! That's a 4-point trip that time for the Mustangs, and it's a 12-point lead.
That might have hit the ceiling.
It was high, wasn't it?
That was way up there.
Yeah, at Navajo, that would have hit the roof, I promise you. 12-point lead for the Mustangs. Fans start to chant with 2 minutes to play here in the half. Kellen Henderson dribbles in against Denton. They kick it left side, Winery. Mountain closes it out on him, and they call a travel. Turned over to the Mustangs. And Ian Taylor will check in for Willits. And in for Canute will be Bill Shelton replacing Aiden Brown. You know what? I think it's, I may be wrong about this, but it seemed Coach Hines is substituting a lot more liberally tonight than he normally does.
Yeah, he has. He's already had three substitutes in the game.
Yeah. I think probably some of that is these guys, they all play well and trying to keep them fresh, I think. Keep them involved in the game. Biddy with it, down low to Denton with Smith on him. Dribbles into paint, through a couple of defenders. Shot no good, put back no good. Boy, he had a good point blanker right there, and it rolled off the rim. And Smith, straightaway 3 off the back iron. Woods and Biddy there for the rebound. Mustang doing a pretty good job on the glass. Ian Taylor, left wing 3, plenty of time, no good. Denton gets around, almost had the offensive rebound, but couldn't handle it. And it goes out of bounds with 1:07 to play in the half. One thing about the Mustangs today, they're not hesitating on the shots. If they're open, they're firing away.
Yeah, they are. Everybody's taking their shots at it.
Kellen Henderson, left wing 3, no good. Woods there for another rebound. Woods is certainly not the tallest guy on the court, but he's doing a great job rebounding today. 47 seconds to play in the half. See if the Mustangs are content to hold for one, if they can. Biddy out front with it with 35 seconds to play.
Yeah, I think they'd like to keep this lead or add to it with Eastwood on the bench.
Right.
Timeout. No, they didn't. They got it out of there.
Yeah, that was near turnover. 22 seconds to play. Woods is going to be fouled by Henderson a long ways from the basket. I don't think you really want Henderson doing that.
No, that's the 7th team foul, so be shooting bonus here. And the 2nd foul on Henderson.
And Bill Shelton and Aiden Brown will check in for the Trojans, replacing Henderson and Smith. Both of those guys have 2 fouls, so wise move by Brock Steffes to get those guys out of the game with 20 seconds to go in the half. And Woods will be shooting 1 and 1. Woods has played outstanding today. That's 6 points for him so far, as Willits will replace Rocky Mountain. It's a 13-point lead now, biggest of the game for the Mustangs. And Woods' second free throw is short. Maddox into the front court. 13 seconds to play. Down to 10. They'll start the offense. Left side, Aiden Brown. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Woods checks it down in the corner. 2 seconds to go to Ian Taylor, and that'll do it. Your halftime score, Fort Cobb 26, Canute 13. Been a good ball game so far. Let's take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have our halftime report.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Stream like the pros with Squirtle Live. Find out more at squirtle.com/stream.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Versatile Networks can handle all of your school or business technology and wiring needs. Expanding into a new building or office space? We would love to give you a free quote for your network wiring. Are your computers outdated? Are your servers slow? Is your network underperforming? Is your wireless network weak? Let Versatile Networks come in and assess the situation and get you back up and running the way you should be. Call Versatile Networks today at 405-217-0267 or visit versatilenetworks.com for more information.
Welcome back to Cache, Oklahoma. Halftime of the Consolation Boys Area Tournament Championship game. Mustangs lead at 26-13. As Kim reminded me a while ago, I need to thank our sponsors. Sure don't want to slight them in any way. I'd like to thank Shelley Dissey and ABC Realty. Appreciate their sponsorship of our games this year. The Southwest Driving School, Mr. Kent Sexton over in Apache, or at Arco, should say. Ouachita Valley Bank in Fort Cobb. Carnegie Internet Telephone Company in Carnegie. I'd like to thank those fine folks. And T-Birds in Fort Cobb. Travis Birchie and the crew. Appreciate all their support. Kim, you want to give us a halftime report here?
Yeah, but before I do, I would like to say Tricia Pierce posted a picture of us on Facebook, and a lot of complimentary comments about that, and I appreciate that. We do this and have a lot of fun, but it's a lot of good comments today, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much for those. So now for the halftime stats for Canute. Keenan Smith had 5 points on 1 of 5 shooting. Colt Randall with 3 points. He's 1 of 3. Colby Maddox, 2 points, 1 out of 1. Kyron Winery with 2 points. He's 1 out of 1. And Kellen Henderson has 1 point, but he's 0 for 8 from the field. Canute shooting 19% from the field, 4 out of 21.
Wow.
That's good. That's due to some good defense, and they forced up a few shots too, and it's just not going down for them. But a lot of that's due to Fort Cobb's defense, I think. But 19% is pretty tough shooting half.
Yes.
2-pointers are 2 out of 13. 3-pointers are 2 out of 8. And they've had 3 of 6 free throws. They have 7 team fouls. Smith and Henderson each have 2. For Fort Cobb Broxton, Jackson Willits has 8 points on a good first half, 3 out of 9 shooting. Drew Woods has 6 points on 1 out of 3. Tyson Eastwood with 3 points. He's 1 out of 2 shooting, but he's run into some foul trouble. Kyler Denton with 1 point. Rocky Mountain with 8. Rocky's 3 out of 4 from the field. Fort Cobb shooting 32% for the first half, 8 out of 25. 2-pointers are 4 out of 13. That's 31%. 3-pointers are 4 out of 12. And free throws, they're 6 out of 9. And they have 7 team fouls. Eastwood with 3 and Rocky Mountain with 2. So, Fort Cobb has looked pretty good. They've got a good lead, 13-point lead here at halftime, 26-13. But they're not shooting the ball all that well either.
No, they're
they
not.
came out early and made some, but then they've kind of cooled off. But a 32% shooting is is not what they're looking for, but hopefully they'll pick that up. But as long as their defense can hold Canute to 19% shooting, that doesn't put a lot of pressure on their offense.
Well, I would anticipate Canute warming up in the second half. I don't figure they're going to shoot 19% for the whole game. But
no, you got to expect them to pick up on that.
One of the things that's kind of encouraging for Fort Cobb, I think, is their two leading scorers, Eastwood and Denton, have a total of 4 points.
Yeah.
And yet the Mustangs have a 13-point lead, and I think it's a must that the other guys step up, and they are tonight so far. So
yeah, and Eastwood, you know, he'll be back in at the start of the second half. You just got to be careful with 3 fouls. You don't want to pick up that fourth one early and have to come out of the ball game, and you know, that's what would happen. So hopefully he can play his, you know, solid defense and watch his penetrations on the offensive end and not pick up that fourth one.
Well, I would anticipate that Canute will try to make a concerted effort. Whoever Eastwood's guarding is to take it to him.
Yeah.
And whether that be Keenan Smith or Kellen Henderson, because both those guys can penetrate, and that's probably what I'd try to do.
Yeah, you'd like to pick up those other fouls.
Yeah.
Do you get Sports Illustrated?
I do not. No.
Well, you know anyway. The let's see, 2, 4, 6. I have the 7 top athletes that have been on the cover of Sports Illustrated the most times.
Oh yeah.
And this is through 2016. So.
You want me to try to guess?
Yeah, just see if you can.
I'm going to guess number 1 would be Michael Jordan.
It is. He's been on 50 times.
50 times.
Yep.
Okay. Number 2 would be I'm going to say Muhammad Ali.
That's number 2. Can you read through this?
No, those are just guesses.
That's a good
Can
guess.
you believe that?
He's been on 40 times.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Sports Illustrated. Boy, after that, I'd have a hard time. Oh, boy. Walter Payton.
No, but there is one football player on number 7 spot.
That's probably Tom Brady.
It is. He's been on 20 times.
Okay.
Probably more than that now. Like I said, this was 5 years ago.
No, I wouldn't have any idea after that.
Well, LeBron James is third with 25
yeah.
covers.
All right.
Can't believe you didn't get Tiger Woods.
Oh, I forgot about Tiger.
Yeah, 24 times,
24.
and Magic Johnson was on 23. So that's 1954 through 2016. So.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm glad I got a couple right.
You
anyway.
did, yeah. You got off to a really good start. Got the top 2.
Well, those are pretty easy. I remember I was quite a back in the day when they put championship fights on television and you didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali was on a lot with Joe Frazier and
right. George Foreman.
And well, matter of fact, we went to Houston one time. We'd go down there about once a summer or once every other year or something like that to watch the Astros play baseball.
Yeah.
And Muhammad Ali was training for a fight down there, and we went and watched a sparring practice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Seen him live and in person, huh?
I was probably 10 or 12 years old, and that was impressive to me.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how big he actually was. He was a large man, and he'd stand in that ring, and that guy'd punch him in the gut. I mean, he'd just stand there and let him punch him just for practice. Yeah, he was.
It's amazing what they take.
Oh, yeah. He would have been a great athlete at whatever sport he chose to pick up, I suspect.
Yeah, because he was pretty tall. I don't know, 6'2", 6'3", something
yeah,
like
6'3", probably weighed 220 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have made a great tight end. That's what I always thought.
Well, I'm glad they have baseballs and basketballs, so I didn't have to do that.
I saw in the paper today where there's some talk about changing the NBA logo.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know who the logo is, I guess?
That's Jerry West.
Yeah,
has been forever.
I guess they want to update that for some degree. Yeah.
Well, he still looks like a really good basketball player. You know, the logo does. That's kind of what you think of when you see the NBA.
That's kind of what I always thought of. He was pretty smooth, though, Jerry was.
Yeah, from West Virginia.
Yeah.
Just think he could have been a Big 12 player back then. So.
Yeah. What year did he play in college?
Oh, I don't know. It must have been in the
60s?
late 50s.
50s? I never was really a Los Angeles Laker fan. I was, believe it or not, I was a New York Knickerbocker.
Oh, really? I really liked Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain, Gail Goodrich, when they had those guys, Elgin Baylor, and that's quite a team they had when they had a couple of championship years in there. Won 33 straight.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty good run.
Willis Reed and Walt Frazier and Dave DeBuscher, Bill Bradley, and
Earl of Pearl.
Earl of Pearl, that's right. They had quite a, and the thing about those teams in those days, you kept the same team year after year after year.
Yeah, when we got home from church, the game came on at 12 o'clock. It was over at 2 o'clock. You could set your clock by it.
Yep.
And I thought the thing they could do is just put the clock on 2 minutes and give both teams 100 points, and every game seemed to be that way.
Yeah. All right, we're about set to go. It'll be Canute's basketball as we start the third period. As the Mustangs have their starting five out there. Eastwood, Willits, Denton, Woods, Mountain. And Canute has their starting five of Randall, Maddox, Randall, Winery. Three-pointer, no good right out of the gate by Randall. Kellen Henderson and Keenan Smith. Willits racing it into the front court. Lost the hand. I think he was trying to pass it to Denton, but was able to retrieve it. 14-foot straightaway jumper by Tyson Eastwood. That's a hard shot to stop right there along the baseline. And it's a 15-point lead for the Mustangs now as Tyson picks up his 5th point. He's got an outstanding jump shot, Eastwood does, or holds the ball real high and hard to defend it without fouling him. Now Winery gets a screen from Smith, dribbles to his right, back to Smith. Top of the key, Willits doing a great job on him. Offense is pretty well staying around the perimeter. Colt Randall out front to Maddox.
Yeah, Fort Cobb hadn't had to get into that zone they've done so often, and they've just stuck strictly to that man-to-man so far.
Eastwood has to let Winery go, but he missed the shot. I thought they would probably. Randall takes the ball away, lays it up, no good, but he's fouled. Great work by Colt Randall. But he couldn't get the shot to fall.
I think Jackson picked up his first foul.
And at the line will be Colt Randall, shooting 2. As Willits picked up his first personal. And a free throw's good by Randall. That's 4 points for Colt. They pretty well resigned themselves to shooting 3-point shots, it appears, Kim. That possession there,
you know, there's 10 guys on the floor, and every one of them scored.
That's amazing.
That's different than last night.
Very much so.
Yeah.
13-point lead. Fort Cobb with the ball and the lead. Right side, Rocky Mountain. To Woods, top of the key. Bounce pass to Eastwood. Maddox on him. Crossover dribble into paint. Poked away by Randall. Loose in the paint. Picked up by Canute. Little momentum here for the Trojans. And stoppage here as Kellen Henderson was kind of bumped in the back of the head, it appears. And stopped to let him kind of catch his breath.
I tell you what, it's tough to dribble through the lane in traffic.
Very much so.
They have good hands and they reach, and Eastwood was trying to put a move on a guy through the lane, but the other defender came over and knocked it loose. It's just
yeah, somebody's always poking at it, isn't it? They're going to just, the official and the coach talking with Kellen Henderson to see if he's okay. He says he is.
Yeah, they asked him his name. He said Jerry West.
And now they're going to mop up the perspiration down here onto the basket, if they can find it. And I guess they don't find any, so they're going to continue on here. 6:19 to play in the third. Mustangs lead at 28-15. Maddox holding out front. And now Smith. Left side, Kellen Henderson against Denton. Maddox, right wing, right elbow jumper won't go. Eastwood with the rebound. Boy, they are ice cold, Kim. In the corner. Three-pointer by Mountain on the way. Good. Rocky Mountain with his third tray of the day. And it's a 16-point lead for the Mustangs, the largest of the contest. Rocky's feeling it tonight. Colt Randall dribbles across the top of the key. Now Maddox out front. I'm a little surprised he's not trying to drive against Eastwood with those 3 fouls.
Yeah, you'd think they would really make an effort to do that.
Henderson in the paint. Left side to Maddox. Of course, I suppose Hines is smart enough to know put Eastwood on somebody that doesn't drive, I guess. And there's a foul on Denton.
Not a lot of foul there.
You know, we've seen a lot more contact than that on some plays. But second foul on Denton. And the second team foul on Fort Cobb. And Henderson set inbound. Maddox, straightaway three, good. Colby Maddox with his 5th point. And it's back to a 13-point lead, 31-18. Left him all alone, and he drained it. Eastwood now holding.
This team, Jackson.
Pass to Wood, he got a break there as Denton was able to track it down. Willits, between the legs dribbles out to the top of the key, gets it off to Eastwood. To Mountain. Woods gets around his defender all the way to the rim. Shot is good, and he's fouled. Beautiful play by Drew Woods. As he just kind of kept standing there, and the defender did the cardinal sin, Kim, and they let him have an easy path to the goal.
Yeah, gave up the baseline and tried to catch up, and all he could do was foul. So Colt Randall picks up his 2nd foul. That's 8 points for Drew.
Drew's having an outstanding night. I've thought that all season long. I wish Woods would shoot more, be more assertive on the offensive end, and he is tonight. He's doing a great job. Missed the free throw, however. But it's a 15-point lead for the Mustangs. Left side, Maddox. Now out to Keenan Smith. Kellen Henderson. Winery goes along the baseline. Little 6-foot runner over Willits is good. Tough bucket that time by Kyron Winery.
Tell you what, that's a tough shot.
It was.
It's like kind of off balance. Got knocked off a little bit and still made it.
Willits on the other end. 3-pointer on the way. Good. Jackson Willits. And timeout Trojans. 36-20 our score. And it'll be a full timeout. We'll be back after this 60-second break.
Allegiant Marketing Group produces inbound lead generation for our clients through integrated traditional and digital campaigns. We continuously develop new strategies, tactics, and productive efficiencies so you can reach your target market and get a measurable return on investment. This fast-paced world demands for your products and services to be presented at the moment your buyers need them. Targeted and innovative marketing creates your success. Call AMG today, your marketing partner.
You ready? 36-20, the Mustangs on top, and they have outscored the Trojans 10-7 here in the third period to build a 16-point lead with 4:02 to play in the third.
You know, I was talking as we went to break, Jackson received that pass, and he did such a good job of squaring up his body and his feet and went straight up, and, you know, everything went right toward the basket. It was picture perfect, his motion there, and it paid off.
On the attack, Canute, I forgot to say I was going to say hi to my granddaughters who are listening today. Reagan and Collins, I think they're at home listening, and hope they're enjoying the broadcast. I told Collins I'd say hi to her.
Can't forget that.
They may be in bed by now. I may have waited too long. Winery into the front court, or the free throw line. Maddox with a nice move. Couldn't get the shot in, though. And the Mustangs now in control of it.
Fort Cobb's done a good job of not giving up many offensive rebounds. They've done
true.
a good job on the boards.
They've done a better job tonight, that's for sure. Eastwood now rises up over Smith. 12-footer's good. Tyson Eastwood, beautiful jump shot. It's an 18-point lead. 3:04 to play in the third. He's done that twice here in the half, that 14-foot jumper. Three-pointer by Winery on the way. No good. Woods tried to save it, but it goes over to Maddox.
Those old long three-point rebounds are just killers, aren't they?
Kellen Henderson's left-handed jumper won't go, and he's going to pick up a foul on Rocky Mountain, I think. Henderson's got a good-looking jump shot as well. He just hadn't had much luck making them today.
Yeah, he got Denton for that one. His third foul.
3 on Denton.
I didn't see him in the picture.
I didn't either. Henderson on 1 point so far. Well, he's had a tough night shooting. Missed the first. And checking in will be Bill Shelton.
Somebody's got to go out. 3, 4,
well, I guess they already have.
Okay.
I didn't see who it was. Missed them both. Tough night for Kellen Henderson so far. Woods now into the front court. Left side Mountain. Penetrates in the paint. Kicks it left side. Jackson Willits. Lets the defender fly by and then shoots a three-pointer. Smart move by Jackson. As he could see it coming, he just held on long enough to get some contact and fired up the three-pointer. So that's a beautiful heads-up play by Jackson.
Yeah, and Colt Randall draws his third foul.
And Willits to shoot 3. Oh. Boy, you're talking about shooter's roll there. He had it.
12 points for Jackson.
Swish that one. And checking in will be Aiden Brown replacing Colt Randall for the Trojans. It's a 20-point lead for Fort Cobb. They've got them doubled up 40-20. He missed it 2 out of 3. Near turnover as a couple of the Trojans collided on a rebound. It's a wonder they didn't travel. Aiden Brown left side. Eastwood on him. Keenan Smith's been quiet tonight as well. Now he'll drive around Mountain all the way to the rim. Basket's good by Keenan Smith. That's his first field goal since the opening possession of the game.
Yeah, it's just got 7 for the game.
Yep. He hit that opening tray to start the game, and that's his first field goal since then. Willits with a nice spin move, left-handed layup, good. Beautiful move by Jackson Willits. Mustangs are pretty good load when all these guys are scoring like that, Kim.
Yeah, that's 15 for Jackson.
Yep. Long three-pointer by Brown off the heel of the basket. Woods high for the rebound. I tell you what, if we're going to pick players of the game, I tell you Woods and Willits would be at the top of my list. They both played awfully well for the Mustangs today. Now Eastwood dribbling out front against Brown. In the paint. 15-footer got him on the arm, and the shot won't go.
Almost went.
That was a tough bucket, or a tough shot at a bucket anyway. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Eastwood with 7 points on the night so far. Normally the leading scorer for the Mustangs. Routinely scores over 20. Colt Randall will check in, replacing Bill Shelton for the Trojans, and Eastwood will have one more. And he made them both. 22-point lead now for Fort Cobb, trying to earn their way to their 8th straight state tournament.
You know, through most of the game, they pretty well just about doubled.
Yep.
Canute score.
There's a foul on the Mustangs as Colt Randall was driving to the basket.
Jackson picks up the foul, his second.
4th team foul on Fort Cobb. And Maddox will inbound along the baseline. And the ball is knocked out of his hand by Willits, but they say
I think he just picked up
Willits
his third foul. Yeah, he did. Jackson gets his third foul on a reach in.
And Kellen Henderson will be back to the line. He missed a couple a little bit ago.
Yeah, Kellen had a lot of points the other night, and he has 1 so far tonight. Yeah. There's 2.
Yeah, he had 15 against Fort Cobb on Tuesday night. And a second free throw is good. 44-24, 1:09 to play. Now pressure in the backcourt by the Trojans. And there's a near takeaway. Mustangs able to retrieve it. Woods handling it out front. Willits, baseline tray, good. Jackson Willits is on fire tonight. And it's a 23-point lead, as that's got to be demoralizing for the Trojans as they come out in the press. And the Mustangs convert a three-pointer. Now Smith drives by a defender, and he's tripped over Rocky Mountain's foot, I believe.
Yeah, kind of incidental contact, but there was contact.
Sure. That's the third foul on Mountain. The Mustangs are piling up some fouls here.
Yeah, that's 16 fouls, so the next one will be a shooting foul.
Ian Taylor will replace Mountain. And Canute will be inbounding. Keenan Smith checks out. And now we're set to go. Maddox trying to get it inbounded. Finally gets it over to Aiden Brown. Eastwood on him. Ball loose on the floor. He picks it up over to Maddox. Drives around Woods. Layup won't go. Ian Taylor with a nice rebound. Hands it off to Eastwood. And the Mustangs will play for one.
They're in a pretty good spot, Don.
I'd say so. Eastwood dribbling out near the center line. Cross court to Woods with 10 seconds to play in the third. Now down to 6. Eastwood has it. To Denton. He's going to pass it to Woods, and he wasn't where he thought he was. No harm, no foul there. At the end of 3 quarters, the Mustangs 47, the Trojans 24. You're listening to Playoff Basketball on FCBMustangs.tv.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers.
Talk about a win-win.
Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Ouachita Valley Bank, locally owned and operated since
they could have a really good
1902, proudly serving the Fort Cobb area with knowledgeable and friendly professionals that actually care about your financial well-being. Online banking, loans, certificate of deposit, safe deposit boxes, 24-hour telephone banking, and an ATM. For service you can trust, Ouachita Valley Bank, 405-643-2305. Member FDIC.
As we start the 4th period of play, it'll be the Mustangs basketball with a commanding 23-point lead. They lead at 47-24. They've really played well tonight.
You know, their quarters, Don, they've won every quarter, 12-10, 14-3, and 21-11 so far.
You know, as a general rule, if you win all 4 quarters, you're probably going to win the game. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's the percentages, shooting percentage? We've got a timeout taken by Coach Hine. Let's keep it right here, and you can tell us the percentages after 3 quarters.
Okay, Canute shooting 7 out of 31 for 23%. Fort Cobb's 15 out of 32 for 47%. They had a good shooting quarter that 3rd quarter.
47% from the
Yes.
field. That's pretty good. Yep. What are they from 3?
7 out of 15, 8 out of 17 from 2, and 7 out of 15 from 3.
That'll win you a lot of ball games shooting
Yeah,
like that.
look at Canute. They're 4 out of 19 on 2-pointers, 3 out of 12 on 3-pointers. So
they were 19% at the half, and
now they're up 22.6.
22.
Yeah,
they haven't shot it very well tonight. That could be part of that fatigue
4
factor.
games in a week. Yeah, you're
tired
right.
legs maybe. Yep. They just don't. They really they don't seem to be as quick on the feet as they did earlier in the week. May just be my imagination, but they do seem a bit tired. Now let's see if the Mustangs can handle this pressure defense as Canute has extended. They're playing a trapping zone. In the corner, Willits, who's been feeling it all night. 1 dribble, 3-pointer on the way, no good this time. Ian Taylor tips it over to Denton. Reverse layup's no good, but Denton will shoot 2. As it just seems that the Mustangs are a little quicker to the loose balls here. 3rd foul on Henderson.
Just some scores around in Class A. Texoma's up on Calumet, who's rated number 5, 41-27 in the 3rd quarter.
41-27. It's probably pretty late, isn't it?
It just says in the third quarter.
Denton missed them both. Denton's only scored 1 point tonight. That's very unusual for Kyler. There's Winery, and he's going to crash into Willits, and they say Willits is going to be called for the blocking foul. That's going to be 4 on Jackson. And Rocky Mountain is going to check in, replacing Willits. Willits has played outstanding today. I've got him for 5, 7, 10, about 18 points.
You know, I keep up with Hooker in Class 2A. They're rated number 2. Well, they're up in the third quarter against Morrison, 42-11.
Wow.
So it looks like they're got a good chance of being regional champion in 2A.
I'd say so, yeah. That's the 7th team foul on Fort Cobb, so Kyron Winery will be at the line, shooting 1 in the bonus. Winery's got 4 points on the night so far. Free throw's too hard, and there's a push in the back by Colt Randall.
You kind of wonder how you get that wide open on a rebound. Well, a two-hand push in the back will do it nearly every time.
Yeah, well, he cleared him some space to get the rebound, that's for sure. That's the 4th foul on Winery. And once again, pressure in the backcourt by the Trojans.
Randall picked up the foul.
Yeah. And now the Mustangs trying to, there's Eastwood, dumps it down low to Denton, layup good, beautiful play. Nice assist from Eastwood as he dumped it down low to Denton for the easy 2, and it's a 25-point lead now. Randall, long three-pointer, no good, got his own rebound along the baseline, and then he lost it to Eastwood.
Good steal.
Now Eastwood weaves through the traffic, behind the back dribble, no look pass. No one was looking, Kim.
Well, they were. Rocky Mountain pulled back from it. It was right to him, and he pulled his hands back and let it go. I think he thought he was throwing it to Woods coming down the baseline, but it was a great pass.
It was right on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Eastwood's, he can do that. You got to pay attention. Baseline jumper by Smith rattles out. And Woods cracks down the rebound. Yeah, Canute's just had an off night shooting today. There's no question about it. These little close-in shots are just not falling for him. Denton now, the Mustangs trying to probably use a little clock. There's Eastwood all alone. That's not good if you're a Canute fan, as he caught it right there on the elbow with nobody around him, and that's an easy 2. And Canute will take a timeout with the Mustangs leading at 51-24. Let's see what it's going to be, a full timeout or not. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
That's full.
Full timeout. We'll be back after this 1-minute break.
Proud supporters of Fort Cobb Mustangs. The name of the store is T-Birds. Come see Connie for our daily lunch specials. Good. We offer cold drinks, hot food, and a clean environment. Also, $1 Fountain Pop Wednesdays. See you soon. We are your premier best in state driving school, located in Southwest Oklahoma at Fort Cobb Public School. We can provide all the services related to driving in the state of Oklahoma, such as driver's education, in-house testing capabilities, permits, and drive testings for a license. The only thing that you will be required from DPS is your eye exam. We have certified instructors that use our cars to teach your students how to be the best drivers from the beginning. Come see us today for all your driving needs.
Okay, you got Van Oss. Okay,
so
I think we pretty well got him in. Welcome back to Cache, Oklahoma. We're just checking some scores from the other areas. We'll try to go over those when the game, try to have some final scores for you to get the rundown on the 8 qualifiers for the state tournament. And it looks like Fort Cobb's going to be one of the 8, barring a
I like
major
their chances.
Yeah. Winner, he dribbles to his right. Nice little ball fake, and Ian Taylor fouled him. And Winery will go to the line to shoot 2. And that's the second foul on Taylor. You know, Scott Hines, he's got quite a program there at Fort Cobb. He arrived in 1998. And in 2000, they won the state title. Kind of came out of nowhere. And
what took him so long?
and he's
2 years.
And he's won 7 of them, which is hard to fathom. Made 1 out of 2. Winner he did. And now the Mustangs trying to advance it against this pressure defense. Woods is doing a good job of being patient. There's Eastwood, 15-foot elbow jumper off the back iron. Smith with the rebound.
It's a pretty good shot, but I don't know if you want to shoot it quite that quick.
And there's going to be a foul on the rebound off the miss of Maddox.
That's just their 15th foul, though.
And so Fort Cobb will inbound. Checking in will be Kellen Henderson,
16.
Colt Randall, replacing Smith and Winery. Lob pass into Eastwood into the front court. No-look pass is intercepted by Maddox as he anticipated that well. Aiden Brown goes around Rocky Mountain for 2. 4:57 to play in the ball game. There's Ian Taylor with a path to the goal, all the way in, layup good by Ian Taylor.
Yeah, that's the shots you need.
Yep, for his first basket of the night. Kellen Henderson, shot over Denton, no good. Taps it out to Shelton, now around to Maddox, to Brown. Kellen Henderson, left wing 3 is good. That's his first tray of the night. He's got 6 points. Pass up ahead to Rocky Mountain, all the way to the rim, and he's going to be fouled. Right now, the game is kind of like what you'd play out on your driveway on the Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, you're right.
Back and forth. His first foul on Kobe Maddox, and Rocky Mountain will be shooting 2.
Well, they've scored 30 points in 28 minutes, and they've got to score 23 more in 4 minutes if Fort Cobb doesn't score again.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah, I used to always, when my kids were playing, I was a nervous wreck all the time, and I would kind of project in my head, if we can get to 60, I think we'll win, you know,
yeah.
or whatever the number was. Rocky hits 1 out of 2. Long pass up ahead to Aiden Brown. Layup's too strong. Rocky Mountains tries to save it and hits the back of the backboard and out of bounds. As Willits will check back in. Placing Mountain. I hear one of the grandfathers over here. He's a little nervous still yet about him not eating up much clock.
Yeah.
Keenan Smith, baseline jumper, no good. Rattled out. Eastwood with the rebound. The Trojans are not giving up, Kim. You got to hand it to them.
Well, I wouldn't expect them to.
They're fighting hard. Doing all they can to keep the pressure on. There's a cross lane pass to Denton, and he lays it in for a nice 2 on a good pass from Eastwood. He is an outstanding passer to go along with his other offensive skills. Long 3-pointer by Brown, no good. Winery gets the long rebound. Step back 14-footer, good. Kyron Rennery, that's 7 for Kyron. And the Mustangs trying to advance it into the front court over to Ian Taylor. He goes to the rim, and shot's blocked and out of bounds. Hesitated a little too long on that. I think he thought, got an open path, but I'm not sure I should do that at this late juncture, but I think that hesitation cost him a little bit there. Class A boys, if I'm not mistaken, will be played in the Big House Thursday afternoon. I believe there's 2 afternoon ball games. There's Eastwood, left of the lane. has the ball taken away, and then Winery lost it out of bounds. Tough
Yeah,
luck.
they're doing it different. State tournament's going to start Tuesday and go through Saturday. They're going to play 6 games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the 4 finals on Saturday. So I think you've told me that A boys start on Thursday.
That's what I understood. What I heard was A boys or B boys and B girls on Tuesday and Wednesday. As Eastwood, I'm not sure he's going to count the basket or not.
I don't
Eastwood's going to be at the line.
Kenan Smith
shooting.
picks up his 3rd foul.
Okay, 1 and 1 he says, so didn't count the bucket. But I'm pretty sure I saw, don't quote me on this, but A boys would be Thursday afternoon.
Okay.
Jake Biddy checks in, replacing Drew Wood. He should get a nice round of applause from the home fans as he does. He played really well tonight, Drew Woods did. And Simeon Collins replaced him, or replaced Ian Taylor, I should say. Biddy replaced Woods. And Tyson Eastwood. The Mustangs have 3 senior starters on their club. And Eastwood makes the free throw. Eastwood, Denton, and Rocky Mountain are all seniors, so this is their last go-round. Kenan Smith, 3-pointer, good. .58-35 our score. 2:38 to play in the contest. Pull-up 15-footer by Eastwood is good. And it's 60-35. Winery, right wing 3, no good. Eastwood with the rebound. Mustang, there's a long pass up ahead to Jake Biddy. And his shot is rejected by Kyron Winery on good hustle. Mustang led it 12-10 after 1 period, and then they kind of took control of the game as they had a 13-point lead at the half and up to a 23-point lead at the end of 3 and coasting home from there. Simeon Collins, left-hand 3-pointer on the way, no good. Smith with the rebound. Willits intercepts the pass. Layup no good. And Henderson clears the board. Pass underneath the Winery. Lets the defender fly by and lays it in for 2. 1:50 to play. Willits now with it. Randall kind of sprained his ankle on that one. Long 3-pointer by Eastwood's no good. And it hit the gold standard and will be turned over as Colt Randall is kind of grimacing in pain as he kind of sprained his ankle. We have substitutions coming in now for the Trojans. We have Drew Steffes checking in along with Michelle Baralo. Aiden Brown with a nice hug from Kenan Smith. Kenan's a senior. This will be his last high school contest. And checking in, replacing Willits, Denton. Willits played great tonight. We got Aiden Lewis, Cade Audubon, Lance Anderson, and Jake Biddy coming in as Tyson Eastwood will take a seat. As the Mustang starters get a nice ovation from the Fort Cobb fans. Well deserved, I would say. It was all on the line tonight, and they performed well. There's a 3-pointer by Bill Shelton for his first basket of the day. Makes it a 20-point ball game. There's a pass intercepted by Jake Estes. And it's loose on the floor, and it's going to be turned over to Fort Cobb Broxton. As it's going to be Kellen Henderson's a senior, Kenan Smith a senior for the Trojans. So it's you always hate to see that last game, you know, Kim.
Yep.
I remember
it's tough.
there's Collins, the dribbling show. Pass intercepted, but anytime it's your last ball game, there's a foul on the Mustangs on Aiden Brown. It's a sad occasion for those young men, I can tell you.
Well, they put a lot into it.
Yes,
you
they
think
do.
they played all this time, and it's hard to realize it comes to an end like this.
So suddenly.
Yes.
That's the thing about it, so sudden. And tomorrow they'll be wondering, what are we going to do? Now, what's next? You know, it's baseball.
Baseball season.
Canute's got an outstanding baseball program. Yeah. We know that. As they were the state champions in fall baseball, I would expect they probably be vying for another state title in the spring. Fort Cobb will be too. 44 seconds to play. As the Mustangs trying to run out the clock here. Audubon with it over to Collins with 30 seconds. He'll let fire a three-pointer. It's no good. Rebound Canute. Aiden Brown. Cross-court pass to Shelton. 15 seconds to play. Now Brown will try a long three-pointer straight away. Anderson with the rebound. 8 seconds. 5 seconds. And that will be your final score. The Fort Cobb Broxton Mustangs 60. The Canute Trojans 42. As the Mustangs have advanced to their 8th straight state tournament berth. It's
amazing.
It really is. As a good sportsmanship from Canute as they come over to talk to congratulate the Mustang players, Keenan Smith and Colt Randall and some of those guys. That's really a nice thing to see as they come over and shake their opponent's hand. Good sportsmanship from the Trojans, and got to tip your hat to them. And now the athletic director of Cache High School will present the consolation championship plaque to Tyson Eastwood and the Fort Cobb Broxton Mustangs, and congratulations to Scott Hines. If I'm not mistaken, this will be their 16th state tournament appearance since 2000. That's quite remarkable when you think about the run that they've had, and they're going to get to go again, and
wow.
They'll be playing Thursday afternoon in the big house. All right,
congratulations to them.
Absolutely. You want to give us our post-game report?
I will in just a second. All the other games are finals.
All right, good.
The other teams will be of course, Fort Cobb Broxton's the first, number 1 rated team. Van Oss, number 8 rated team, wins. Belma Alma, number 10 rated, and Texoma, the number 20 rated. So there's the.
So we have our 8 qualifiers. You want to read them all? 8 state qualifiers.
Yeah, the 4 winners from last night are Arapahoe Butler, Garber, Snyder, and Hydro Eakling. And then the 4 winners tonight will be Velma Alma, Texoma, Van Oss, and Fort Cobb Broxton. So you've got the ranked teams numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10, 11, and 20.
Yeah.
So pretty well represented.
Very much so.
So now for the numbers.
Yeah.
Let's look at Fort Cobb Broxton tonight. Jackson Willits had an outstanding game with 18 points. He was 6 out of 14 shooting, 3 out of 8 on 2-pointers, 3 out of 6 on 3-pointers, and 3 out of 5 on free throws. He made 3 of everything. 3 twos, 3 threes, and 3 ones.
There you go. The hat trick.
Yeah, it is. Drew Woods had 8 points on 2 or 4 shooting, 1 out of 1 2-pointers, 1 out of 3 3-pointers, and 3 out of 5 free throws. Tyson Eastwood with 15. He was 5 out of 8 shooting, 5 out of 7 2-pointers, 0 for 1 3-pointers, and 5 out of 5 free throws. Kyler Denton had 5 points, 2 out of 6 from the field, 2 out of 5 on 2-pointers, 0 for 1 3-pointers, 1 for 4 free throws. I bet it's been a while since he only put up 1 3-pointer.
Yeah, I'd say so. I would say so.
And Rocky Mountain had 12 points, 4 out of 5 shooting, 1 out of 1 2-pointers, 3 out of 4 3-pointers, and 1 out of 2 free throws. And Ian Taylor had 2 points on 1 out of 4 shooting, 1 out of 3 2-pointers, 0 for 1 on 3-pointers. Fort Cobb shot 44% for the game, 20 out of 45. 2-pointers, they were 13 out of 26, and even 50%. 3-pointers, 7 out of 19. It's 37%. And 13 out of 21 free throws, 62%. They had 16 personal fouls. For Canute, Keenan Smith had 10 points on 3 of 9 shooting. Colt Randall with 5 points. He was 1 out of 5 from the field. Aiden Brown with 4 points. He was 1 out of 6. Colby Maddox with 5 points, he was 2 out of 6. Bill Shelton with 3 points, 1 out of 3 shooting. Kyron Whinery with 9 points. Kyron was 4 out of 7 from the field. And Kellen Henderson with 6 points. Kellen was 1 for 10 from the field. Canute shot just 28% for the game, 13 out of 46. 2-pointers, they were 7 out of 26 for 27%. 3-pointers, 6 out of 20 for 30%, and 10 out of 17 free throws for 59%. They had 14 personal fouls. So, Don, what you said about if you win every quarter you're going to win, well, Canute won the last quarter 18 to 13.
Okay, we'll give them that one.
Yeah, but they had a pretty good win. So
yeah.
Congratulations to Fort Cobb Broxton. They pull out the victory here in the area consolation final 60 to 42, and they'll be headed to the big house.
Absolutely. Those are sweet words right there, Kim. Headed to the big
yeah.
house. You know, you just can't say enough about the Mustangs' mindset today, Kim, and that's a tribute to the coach, Coach Hines, and what he's built there. They came out tonight didn't have their dauber down from losing last night. You could tell.
No, but they don't have experience playing
right.
on Saturday night of area finals either.
That's true.
The last, I don't know how many years they've gone through unbeaten to the state tournament.
But they forgot about last night, and they come in here and played loose, I thought, and
well, the way they came
well.
out with everyone involved,
right.
and everybody was ready to play their role and got involved early, and it was a pure team effort.
Yep, they didn't fear losing tonight. They played like you have to win. All right, it's been a great night for the Mustangs. Congratulations once again, a 60 to 42 victory as the Mustangs advance to their state tournament. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast, folks. I know we've had a great time bringing it to you, and appreciate all the, as Kim mentioned earlier, Tricia Pierce and kind words that she had for us, and a lot of folks
and
had
thank
some
our
nice
sponsors
things to say.
again, Don, for bringing the game to us.
Yeah,
couldn't do it without them.
Couldn't do it without our sponsors, as Kim said. Shelley Dissey and ABC Realty, the Southwest Driving School, Mr. Kent Sexton, Ouachita Valley Bank there in Fort Cobb, Carnegie Fiber Telephone Company in Carnegie, and T-Birds there in Fort Cobb. Appreciate all those folks for sponsoring our broadcast. I know this year it's been really a blessing to a lot of people that because of the restrictions on the number of people that can attend the ball games because of COVID. So a lot of people are able to sit home and be able to keep up with their Mustangs, and we're thankful we're able to bring it to you. So that about wraps it up here from Cash. You have any final words, Kim?
No, I think we've enjoyed being here. They've been good hosts for us, and appreciate everything they've done. But once again, just want to congratulate Fort Cobb Broxton for the victory. And you know, we've said it's tough to beat a team 3 times, but they beat Canute 3 times. And this one was a little easier than the others, but still, Canute's got a good ball club. And,
yes, they do.
And it's a tough loss for them to end their season, but they played well.
All right. Thanks a bunch, Kim. Appreciate really enjoyed working with you guys. Hopefully we'll get to do it again next week. Thanks to Enrique for the engineering and camera work for us during the season, and thank him and Kim and for all his fine reporting. And for those guys, I'm Don Tyson saying good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.